Welcome back to the channel, guys. Welcome back to another episode of the EV Weekly Wrap Adapt. I'm Roland, and this is the second episode to what I've essentially created, which is to be a one-stop shop where you guys can get a weekly download of all things to do with EVs over the past 7 days. So, what a week it's been. Now, let's get straight into it. So, first things first, we have the Hyundai IONIQ 5 and IONIQ 6. So, Hyundai IONIQ 5 and 6, they are now available to be purchased through the company's dealership network. So, previously it used to be online only, and what that meant was if you walked into a dealership, they'd actually redirect you online. Now you're able to actually go into a dealership and you should be able to purchase one. You also get it delivered there as well. So, the one thing to note is it says here only Hyundai Blue Drive dealerships can sell IONIQ models, and that's roughly about 100 of its circa 160 locations nationwide. So I think that's a pretty good win because now you can, they're potentially going to have demo models in there for you to see. You'll also be able to potentially do test drives, and you'll also be able to order it all in one spot. So it's fantastic to see, and potentially they've ditched all of the fixed price as well. So what that means for you guys as end consumers is you should be able to negotiate a better price, hopefully. So if it is something that you guys have done, let me know in the comments below. Would love to hear your thoughts on that. So yeah, that's the Hyundai IONIQ 5 and 6. Let's jump to the next one. So Kia EV5 Aussie launch has been delayed. So originally it was scheduled to have a media launch for the EV5 on June 25th and 26th, which is essentially next week. It's now been postponed. Original launch was going to be Air and Earth variant, which is the entry and the mid spec, as a part of the launch, and then the GT line, which is the top spec, to follow in the fourth quarter of 2024. Now I've got some of what the media essentially said here. So let's read it. So, due to unexpected wheel and software updates, we are unfortunately delaying the media launch of EV5. We are working closely with the factory to remedy these challenges to ensure we have sufficient supply and variants across the dealer network for the rescheduled launch. The date will soon be announced ASAP. Some inconsistencies noted were with the wheel weight and balance, which they're working to resolve, and it is also going to be the first Chinese-sourced vehicle that Kia Australia will offer. So, what do you guys think about the car? I think it looks pretty funky. It definitely does give EV9 vibes and the new Kia Carnival as well. The one thing that I think does look pretty cool is just on the bottom left picture where you've got that extended cushion. I don't know what it's actually for. I haven't really looked into any of the videos yet, but it looks pretty funky. Let me know what you guys think. But yeah, that's the EV5. Next, Mini Aceman. What do you guys think of that? I think it looks like a pretty cute looking car. It looks like a typical Mini as you would. The curves at the back, the front, the inside cabin, all of that, especially with that round speedo and all of that. I think that kind of really looks and has all of the retro Mini vibes. Anyway, Mini Aceman. So, Mini Aceman will join in Q4 2024, so at the later half of the year or towards the end of the year. Exclusive electric powertrain lineup. You have two variants that you'll be getting here in Australia, the Aceman E and the SE. So up to 406 kilometers of battery for the SE. Pricing for the base one, which is the Aceman E, starts at $55,990, which is about $56,000. Now let's rattle off some of the specs. So Aceman E, 38.5 kilowatt hour battery, 135 kilowatt power motor, 290 newton meters of torque, 0 to 107.9, and about 310 k's of driving. The Mini Aceman SE, 49.2 kilowatt hour net capacity. So that's the one that gets you about 406 kilometers of range, 160 kilowatt of power, 330 newton meters of torque, 0 to 107.1 seconds. So the numbers aren't crazy amazing, crazy quick. That was never the intent of the Mini brand, but it's good to see that you could get 300 something, 400 something kilometers out of a small car like that. So that's good to see. The one thing that I found odd when I was reading up on this was probably around the DC charging. So it does say that all models come equipped with DC fast charging capabilities. The odd thing, as I was saying, is that it only has 75 kilowatts maximum charging rate on the Aceman E and 95 kilowatt for the Aceman SE. For DC charging, I feel like that's a bit on the slower end. And I don't know what the reason for that is. So hopefully, when there's more information that comes out, we can kind of find out and see. But yeah, it was really odd to see 75 and 95, considering some of the cars with 800-volt architecture. Maybe that's what it is, right? You can charge over 200 or 250 kilowatts. So yeah, either way, they're saying that 10 to 80% is about 28 minutes for the Aceman E, and then about 31 minutes for the Aceman SE. So yeah, that's the mini Aceman. Let's keep moving on. We have ChargeHQ. So the left two images is what I put on last week around the fact that ChargeHQ, the early adopter plans are all coming to an end because it's going to cost more due to Tesla now charging for API integration. Now, I also came across a LinkedIn post from Andrew Rogers, who's one of the co-founders of ChargeHQ earlier on. And the key bit that I want you guys to focus on is probably the second last paragraph there. Actually, the second paragraph and then the second last paragraph. So it says there, as more and more solar deployed, we're seeing ongoing falls in the cost of power in the middle of the day, and a growing number of EV-focused retail energy plans in Australia that pass on these low prices. And then the second last one is, it also means that the value of charging from your own solar is shrinking. In parallel, cost of automation is proving to be higher than expected, and it also means that ChargeHQ now faces an uncertain future. So that's something to keep your eyes on, and I will absolutely keep you guys posted. And if you guys want to actually read some of the comments from the public there, then what I would suggest is look up that post and jump onto that community.chargehq.net link there, and you guys can have a read. But that's the ChargeHQ update. Smart electric SUVs. And they've gone with some generic numbers or generic naming conventions, number 1 and number 3. So anyways, number 1 is the left two pictures, number 3 is the middle and the right picture. Basically 3 is bigger than 1. It literally just looks like you've stretched it out a little bit. So LSH Auto, which is Australia's largest Mercedes-Benz retailer, confirmed last month they would begin selling these across its local network from July, which is actually as early as 2 weeks away, with delivery starting in September, which is only a couple of months away. So the great thing when I was looking through some of the government documentation is that Smart 1 and 3 has been approved for 5 to 6 variants, and we are getting the Brabus versions, which I'm not too sure if the number 1 is the Brabus version, but the number 3 definitely is the Brabus version, which is fantastic because usually they look nicer, they're usually lower, nicer wheels, front lip and so forth, or blackout package and so forth. So yeah, we're definitely getting the Brabus versions, which is fantastic. So for the ones that aren't too aware of what the brand Smart is a joint venture between Mercedes and Geely, and their 2 electric SUVs are actually already on sale in China. So specs and price and everything not confirmed for Australia yet, but let's go through the specs of what they currently are. So entry level. So let's start with the Smart number 1. Entry level, 49 kilowatt hour battery, 200 kilowatt motor, and then the other variants for the number 1 is 66 kilowatt hour battery, and it goes from 200, 271, and 315 kilowatts. For a car of that size, 315 kilowatts, that car is going to be pretty quick. And then let's look at number 3. So entry level, 49 kilowatt hour battery again with a 200 kilowatt motor. Then the other variants get a 66 kilowatt hour battery, and it goes 265 and 315 kilowatts. So yeah, what do you guys think? I think they'll do. I think they may do well, depending on the specific price point that it comes in. But they do look pretty nice. You can tell based on looking at this Smart number 3, it really has Mercedes vibes. So yeah. Either way, 0 to 100. That's the important thing. Smart number 1. 0 to 100, and this is obviously for the top spec. So 0 to 100 in 3.9 seconds, and number 3 is 3.6 seconds. So sub 4 seconds for both, which is really, really, really quick. And the one thing that I've noticed is a lot of these China cars that are coming in, the faster or the top specs are all below 4 seconds. So they're getting to about 3.5 to 4 seconds. So it'd be really, really interesting to see how far we're going to be at in the next 12 months' time. So I would dare say a lot of these cars will be then between 3 to 3.5 seconds. So let me know what you guys think. Zeekr Australia. So here's a brand that is launching hard into Australia. Again, it's another Geely brand car. I won't go through too much, but essentially I took this picture off the Zeekr Australia Instagram page. Basically, they invited a whole bunch of media people over to look at their factories, drive them around and go for tours, and I don't know exactly what else, but stay tuned. We'll keep an eye close on that. And I know that at the bare minimum, Car Expert has posted some stuff, and then Tom, Ludicrous Feed, and Riz have posted up some pictures on social media. So make sure you go and follow them if you haven't already. But overall, the Zeekr brand, the one I am looking forward to most, is the Zeekr 009, which is the luxury people mover, because yeah, it just looks amazing. Anyways, let's keep going. XPeng G6. So there was an update last week where I put here that there was a web page that was released, and then it got taken down because it wasn't complete yet. Basically, orders are ready to go now. The site is live. I've put everything into a one-page summary for you guys, so it's really easy. Top left is the standard spec. Top right is the long-range spec. Basically, they both have 800-volt architecture, borderline about 200 kilowatts of power. You'll see 190 to 210. Same torque, 440 newton meters, but the range is where the key difference is. So they're both rear-wheel drive. You got 435 in the standard, and then you've got 570 in the long range. Then you've got the colors there. So you've got 5 to choose from: Arctic White, Silver Frost, Graphite Grey, Midnight Black, Fiery Orange, and then 2-color interior, which is just white and black. No options on wheels. You get 20-inch wheels, which is the same that you see in the pictures all there. XPeng will have experience centres in Sydney, Brisbane, Melbourne, and then home delivery additional for the ones that are outside of those areas. It's going to cost you $1,000, fully refundable order fee, and delivery expected between October and December this year. So not too far away, a couple of months away for the actual deliveries. So that's really exciting to see. What do you guys think? Which one would you get? I think for me, graphite grey is similar to what the Tesla Model Y is at the moment. I think if I was to get one, Silver Frost or Midnight Black, I'd be cautious on the white interior, considering I've had issues on my one, but on my Tesla. But it is really nice. So probably a black interior this time. But what would you guys get? Let me know. Either way, let's keep moving. Amber Electric. So you'll see there, ARENA, which is the Australian Renewable Energy Agency, they've put $3.2 million behind Amber's vision of unlocking the next stage of renewable energy revolution, which is essentially EVs and V2G, which is vehicle to grids. So the summary of it is that they are going to work through a project or a trial where 150 customers get a subsidized charger installations and financial benefits from EV and V2G optimization. What does that mean for the ones that aren't too in the know? That basically means that for the cars that do have V2G capability, they are going to be able to use their car batteries to power their house. That's literally it, and that's going to be amazing because um, there's so much good feedback about Amber that I've seen. I've heard so much good stuff about Amber. People having power wars, people gamifying it, for better use of words. And so they're now expanding to ensure that you can use your car. So, you look at an average car, say 60 kilowatt hour battery. A Tesla Powerwall 2 has about 13 point something or 14 point something kilowatt hours. So it's about 4 to 5 times the size in terms of a car battery versus something like a Powerwall 2. So being able to use V2G to power your house and to work through whatever those take advantage of those wholesale rates. That seems like a really, really big win. Now, on to news and stuff that's, I guess, from the internet that is not necessarily impacting Australians, or it might be at a later time. Fisker has gone bankrupt officially, so they filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Fisker said it was in negotiations with a unnamed large automaker over potential investments, but that obviously fell off. It says here they also blame supplier delays for missed production targets and struggled to meet sales forecast. Now, I know that there was a video from MKBHD, who's one of the biggest YouTubers or tech reviewers out there. I don't think he killed Fisker. I think they were already in trouble. His one was the icing on the cake, which essentially brought even more media attention to the brand. So they were doomed from a while back, is my view. But yeah, another one bites the dust. Okay, and this one here, 2025 Audi e-Tron GT. I am really excited about this one. You can see now there is 3 variants. You've got the S e-Tron GT RS and then the RS Performance. 500, 630, 680 kilowatts of power respectively. And look at those 0 to 100 figures. They are ridiculously quick. 2.5 seconds. I'm lost for words. I also do personally think that this is one of the most beautiful cars on the road today. Subjective, I know some people might think it's the ugliest car. You're totally okay to have your own opinion. Mine is, I think that is definitely one of the most beautiful cars out there today. So they do get a larger battery, which means they also have new range, new battery chemistry, more power, better or faster DC charging as well. And yeah, there's not much more to say. It's just something that we'll look forward to getting to in Australia when the time comes. But really exciting to see that they're now moving on to even a higher benchmark. Now, one thing I missed from last week was Alpine A290. So hot hatch from Alpine. It's obviously going to compete from an Australian side of things, if or when it comes. MG 4X power size, Mini Cooper size, a Bath 500E size, something like that. It's got a 52 kilowatt hour battery, 160 kilowatts. They think that in terms of range, less than 400. And that's mainly because you see there, large wheels, big motor, and, it's small battery. So, yeah, really looking forward to that one too, if we get it. And last one here, some social media updates. So, Tesla Model 3 performance cars are here. You'll see there, top left, Avinash Kumar from Queensland has already taken delivery of Model 3. So congratulations to Avinash, and I'm sure that plenty of people will be getting theirs over, or actually from right now. So yeah, bottom left one, superchargers. So you may have seen previously we're starting to ramp up some V4s. So we've started to convert a lot of our older V2s, V3s to V4s, and so, these are essentially are some pictures of completed versions. So really good to see. What that means is if you have a site or a Tesla supercharger site where it is opened up for non-Tesla vehicles, you can definitely make use of the longer cord or the longer cable to plug in your non-Tesla. You've then got in the middle there, ChargeFox Children's Hospital at Westmead opened a new staff car park, 75 electric vehicle chargers, 1,400 solar panels, generating over 700 kilowatts of clean energy. That is absolutely amazing, and good on you for ChargeFox for setting that up. And it's a really good win for all of the workers at the Children's Hospital. And then the last one over there, Jason from Tech AU. There is an electric SUV expo in Melbourne. I do really wonder why we're just calling it SUV Expo. Does that mean it's going to be limited to just SUVs? I haven't looked at it personally myself. I just saw that post and I figured something good to put on here as an update for you all. So, yeah, it'd be really interesting to see. And that takes us to the end of it. So I don't know how long this video was. I'll review this content and we'll continue to improve. If you guys have any feedback, I'm all ears. Be more than happy to hear whatever it is that you guys have to say. We'll continue to improve. We can shorten these if we want. If you guys don't want to hear about anything from overseas, if you guys are interested in just Australia only, then absolutely let me know. Either way, hope you guys are well. If this type of content is something you enjoy, give it a like, subscribe for more content, and we'll see you next week. Thanks again.